Hello, Lindsay. How are you?
Hello, Aubrey. I am doing very well today. How are you? How's it going?
Excellent. I'm excellent. I'm headed to Montana this weekend. I know you have been. It's
Yes.
so beautiful and usually nice and cool there.
I love Montana. Great sunshine, nice people, good cool air, lots of
Yeah,
grizzly bears I get now.
I know, right? Avoid the grizzly bears. It's tricky because it stays light so late up this
Yeah.
far up north. It's the same here in
Yes.
Idaho. It'll be even more so, where I'm headed north. And
Yes.
so it's hard to get my kids to go to bed on time because it'll be like 11
Right.
p.m. They're like, but it's
Yeah.
still really light out.
Yeah, that's so weird, isn't it?
It's so
That's
weird.
really weird. Yes.
Funny. Even more
So
so in like Alaska. Funny.
right. Interesting. Okay, I didn't realize that. But yeah, well, traveling is good. It's good for the heart, good for the soul, good for the mind, Aubrey. So come back with some
Absolutely.
stories for us on
I
the
will.
podcast. All right.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Well, let me ask you a question first to start off
Okay.
our episode.
All
When
right.
is the last time that someone put you down? Ooh.
Oh, that's rough. This is an interesting phrasal verb. We're gonna get into this today, and I just even asking the question, I'm like, oh, because it's
You
terrible
get
when someone
sad.
puts you
Yeah.
down. I think it was
Yeah.
playing pickleball not that long ago, and they intended to be sort of funny and sarcastic,
Oh no.
but they sort of said something basically telling me that I wasn't a very good player. I
Oh
had made a few mistakes, and they were trying
no.
to be funny, but I still felt put down. I felt like they were putting me down for
Interesting.
sure.
Yeah. What's the difference between someone putting you down or being put down versus just like being attacked? Is there some kind, is it more of an insult kind of thing? Like an
Yeah, it's
insult?
more like
Yeah.
an insult, right? There
Hmm.
this is
Yeah.
that is actually the final meaning that we're going to go into today. It's
Yes.
being mean. It's criticizing in a way that could offend or hurt feelings, and sometimes
Mhm.
someone will feel put down even if that's not the intent.
Sure,
So
sure.
it's
Yes.
interesting, yeah.
Okay, then we have a lot to get into today, and
Oh,
this is
yeah.
a part 2 of a three-part series, Aubrey. Will there be 3
Yes,
episodes?
there will be
Great.
3. So part 1, scroll up if you missed it. It was 2252. Putting up with phrasal verbs, part 1. We talked about put up, and that was a
Mhm.
great we have to put up with phrasal verbs. They're so frustrating, but we can't change them. We just have to put up with it.
Right, right, and guys, hit that follow button as you are scrolling back through our catalog. Just go back to last week. Again, also hit the follow button because you don't wanna miss the next part in this series, right?
Exactly. Part 3 will be coming up very soon, so hit follow right here on All Ears English. And today,
Alright.
we're diving into put down. There are a
Okay.
bunch of different meanings of this phrasal verb. We're going to cover the 4 most common. You definitely need to add these to your phrasal verb repertoire.
All right. Well, let's do something great for our listeners. Let's start with it feels like the easiest one, I would
Yes,
think,
that's how we're doing
right?
it. The most
Okay.
common, the easiest to use is how we're starting here.
Okay, what is that? What I think our listeners could guess, right?
Right,
What is it?
exactly. The one you hear all the time, like to
Mhm.
physically put something down or to put
Yeah.
someone down. Lately, I've given one of my
Mm.
kids a piggyback ride, which is where they're like on your back a lot.
Right,
So
right,
then
right,
I
right.
have to put him down. And sometimes it's
Yes.
earlier than he wants. I'm like, I'm going to have to put you down. You're 10 years old now. You weigh too much. It's hurting my
Right.
back.
Yeah, not okay, right?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So for example, so again, I need to put down this bag. It's super heavy. Or
Mhm.
again, maybe your kid is on your back and they say, "Put me down."
Right? Put me
Right?
down.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this is a tricky
Mhm.
one where you could not say like put down me or you can
Right.
say put down this bag, but when it's a person, when it's a pronoun, you have to have the pronoun between the phrasal verb. Put
Well,
me down. Put
yeah,
her down.
that's true, and you also can't say put down it. So put it
Right?
down, right? So it
Anytime
always
it's a
gets
pronoun.
separated.
Exactly.
Yes,
You have to
you
put
got
it
it.
between the phrasal verb.
Yes.
Tricky.
Love that. Good to know. Good to know, though. Very important because this is super common,
Yes.
right?
And there's one that I say a lot lately, put down your brother. My daughter, my twins are the same age, but Georgia's like a foot and a half taller, and she often will
Oh.
pick up Will. She's like, "Look, I could pick him up." And I'm like, "Put down your brother," because he doesn't
That's
wanna be carried
great.
around.
That's hilarious. That's so
That is
funny.
funny.
All right, I love it. So to put something down physically, that's the easiest one. Now we're going to scale up a little bit. So
Yes.
guys, write that first one down and let's move up. We're ready for it. What's number
Yeah,
2?
this number 2 is to assign to someone. So, for example, if you say there's a sign up for food at an event, you could say,
Mhm.
"Put me down for 3 loaves of bread." Need me to bring anything else? That means assign me to be in
Yes.
charge of bringing 3 loaves.
Yes, I love that. Or what should we put you down for? How much should we put you what does that mean? How much should
Yeah,
we
so
put you
same
down
what
for?
should we put you down for? Maybe if someone's asking you like, "What should we assign you?" Same thing, right? "What should we put you down for?"
Mhm.
"Oh, I'll bring a watermelon." Or if
Yeah.
it's something financial, right? Let's say you're
Yeah.
donating to a charity or to a fundraiser, and if you wanna say, "Oh, I'd like to make a donation," they might say,
Yes.
"How much should we put you down for?" And that means,
Yeah.
"How much would you like to donate?"
And there's an interesting nuance here. We love to get into these very specific nuances. But for example, this coming weekend, I'm going camping with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law and the kids. And we are volunteering. One night we're going to bring the meal, and the other night they're going to. But it's just it's our family. It's a small group.
Right.
So in that case, would you ask that? Probably not, right?
Right.
Because it implies a larger group, like more potential volunteers. I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
My sisters and I are planning a meal for our entire extended family. There's a big family reunion in a couple of weeks, and we're doing
Uh,
like a taco bar, and we had to create a food sign up. And then
and
we were
did you
asking people, what can we put you down for? Could you
okay,
bring a
so
dessert? Because it's like 250 people.
okay, so that's an important distinction right there. It's
Yeah,
really
good
only when
point.
you're talking about a large group. It's not for maybe if there's 3, 2, 3, 4 volunteers, it's a more intimate group, you're not gonna use this phrasal verb.
Exactly, because this definitely implies a list, an organized list. It's not just
Mhm.
like, "What would you like to bring?" and "This is what I'll bring,"
It
right? This
implies
is
a
more like
list.
there's a
Yeah.
lot it's a lot in going on here, yeah.
I think that's the key piece. There's no list. We just know they're bringing the food on Friday night, we're
Yeah.
bringing it on Saturday night. It's simple, right?
Yeah, but there is also a nuance I wanna point out with the money thing, right? If someone says,
Yeah.
"How much should we put you down for?" It's sort of more polite than like, "How much would you like to give?" or "How much money are you going to
Mm.
donate?" All the other ways you could ask this are sort of a little more direct, asking for someone's money,
Mm.
and this is a way we say it that's less direct, that's sort of
That's really
right? So this is
interesting.
always what I would say, "Oh, how much can I put you down for?"
Right, because literally you're
Interesting.
just writing down a number,
Yeah.
right? And so that's why I think it feels a little more comfortable for people to say that.
Right? We're removing
Uh,
ourself from that number from the money, right? We're trying to make it less awkward and direct.
Mhm. Right, if you added in how much money should I put you down for? That would then
Yeah,
become
that's like,
direct, wouldn't it?
"Ooh, this
Interesting.
doesn't feel good. We don't
Interesting.
like talking
Yeah.
about money in the US."
Fascinating. Wow. So there really is so guys, focus on the meaning first, and then you'll get eventually into these deeper nuances when you're ready for it. But
Mhm.
these nuances exist. So we'll
Yeah,
get to it eventually. Yeah, I love it.
absolutely.
Okay. Number 3, moving up the ladder. What is the third use for put down?
This is when we use a lot at work. It's adding something to a calendar and in our daily life too, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you're making an appointment for the dentist, right? They might say, "We put you down for the 1 PM slot." And
Yeah.
that means we have put you in our system. We have put you in our calendar. We'll say, "I put you down for that time."
Right. Or I'll put you down for 12 p.m. This is very similar to what we said before. How much should we put you down for? Right. Because it implies
Mhm.
I'm putting your name down on a sheet of
Right.
paper,
Right,
whether
so
it's a
these are
list or a
very
calendar.
similar,
Yes.
right? It's just more about assigning a time to someone or something.
Exactly, exactly. Now, would you say here's another question, would you say this if you're just verbally agreeing on a time? You know, I
Mm.
don't know, because usually when you say this, it's about like an actual logistical appointment, a doctor's appointment, something a little more formal, not so much
I
talking to your
agree.
friend about
Right, no, like
time
an
to have
appointment
coffee.
or even let's say you're volunteering your time for something
Yeah,
and they need these time slots to be filled, then
yeah.
they would say, "Oh, we'll put you down for the 1 to 3 PM slot." And that means,
Mhm.
that's your time slot, you're assigned to volunteer that time slot, so I agree, it's very much it's more of something organized, right?
Right.
There's some kind of time schedule being filled out or appointments at the
Yes.
dentist, the doctor, that's when we really hear
Yeah.
this the most.
So those slots already exist and you're just being put in the slot. But if I call my friend and we arrange a time to have coffee, I'm not going to say I'll put you down for 12. That's going to feel
That
very
it sounds very
strange.
businessy too, right? I would definitely say that at work, right? If we're organizing, arranging like a one-on-one meeting, "Oh, okay, I'll put
Yeah.
you down for 2 PM." It just sounds businessy.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's just you and your friend arranging coffee, you're creating distance by using
You
this actually.
are. You are. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So moving on to number 4, to criticize or to be mean. Tell us about this one. Oh, we
Mhm.
talked about this at the top of the show, right?
Exactly, we introduce it with this question, right? When's the last
Yes.
time someone put you down? This really means to be cruel, to criticize. So you might hear I say to my children sometimes, "Don't put people down," and that's saying,
Definitely.
like, don't say anything mean, don't criticize. My son that's a little shorter, the kids will sometimes be sort of teasing him about being shorter, and I
Oh,
might say this
yeah.
like, "Don't put him down," because that
Oh,
means don't criticize, don't be mean, don't say something that will hurt his feelings.
yes. I love that. Important, right? Important lesson to teach kids, right?
Mhm.
Don't put people down. Or here's another sample sentence. She's always putting me down, right? So it feels like that person's always insulting you. Insult.
Right, yes,
Mhm.
right? If it's someone who's always just saying mean things that feel like they're
Mm.
trying to make you feel worse about yourself, that's when this would be like, "Oh, she's always putting me down. She's always putting people down."
Yeah, and then put downs is a noun too, right? A put down, like, just an insult.
Insult. Uh-huh, that's a good
Yeah.
point. Yeah, if you just say something that's insulting to someone, we call
Mhm.
that sort of informally a put down.
It was a put down. He's delivering lots of put downs. A little less common, right, than the
Mhm.
verb form, I think, but important to know.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, we do hear it. All right, let's do a role play.
All right, Aubrey. So what's the context?
You and I are playing in a pickleball
Oh,
tournament in this role play.
no.
I played in a pickleball tournament last Saturday, my first one. I went
Impressive. How'd you do?
undefeated.
Wow, in a singles tournament? Was
It
it
was
singles?
women's doubles, but the reason I was undefeated is they were running way behind. We played our first game at noon, and then it just was like there was chaos. It wasn't organized well. 3.5 hours later, they didn't have the time for our next game. And we
Whoa.
had an appointment at the Olympic Village in Park City where the Olympics were held.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have still like a ski jump show, like a water ski jump,
Yeah.
and so I had to leave early. So I was undefeated. But
Oh, I
unfortunately I had to
see. That
withdraw
kind of
early.
undefeated, that kind of
That kind of undefeated.
got it. Well,
Play
thank you for
once
being
and then
honest.
have to withdraw.
Still undefeated. All right.
Exactly.
All right, good stuff. Here we go. All right. So, can you put that down so I can hand you these bags?
Sure. Can't you carry your own bags though? You're so lazy.
Don't put me down. I have to carry the cooler.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, it looks like this is where we pick up our t-shirts. I told them to put me down for a medium.
Same. I can see the schedule online. It looks like they put us down for an 11 a.m. start.
Nice. So
Hey.
you can see I had to
So we
cram them
did.
all
We
in here. It was a little
used
tricky. I had
most
to be
of them
creative.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little trickier than the last episode last week,
Mhm.
right? It was a little more
Mhm.
natural to fit them all in for some reason
Right. And
with
this
the
I'm
put
like,
up.
how can I use these? Because I need like a sport or something where we would be, put me down for a medium, right? I had to sign up for a
Right.
t-shirt for this tournament. And that's what it'd be, oh, put me down for a medium means
Yeah. But
assign me a
yeah.
medium.
But these examples feel very natural. They feel
Yeah,
right
I
on,
agree.
exactly the words that we would use. So the first
Totally.
one here, can you put that down? It's a physically, can you lower that bag to the ground, right? Or can you put the thing down so I can hand you these bags,
Exactly.
right?
Whatever you're holding, can you put that
Yeah,
down so I can hand you these bags? Exactly.
right.
And then I started getting snippy. I'm like, "Can't you
Snippy.
carry your own bags? You're so lazy."
Yeah, snippy and snappy, right?
Yes. So that's why I had to
And
say something like that so you could say, "Don't put me down," right? Because I called you
right.
lazy. That's a put down.
Yes, that is a put down. And again, guys, remember there's a noun form of that too, which is a little less common, but you can use it.
Mhm.
So, and then Aubrey said, I told them to put me down. So we're talking about t-shirts, and most sporting events they'll give you a free t-shirt. Every race I run in, whether it's just a 3K or like a 4 miler, they'll give you a free t-shirt. So you would
Right?
put yourself down for a size on the web
Exactly.
before.
So you could hear it both ways. You say, "Put me down for a medium," and they say, "We put you down for a medium. Here's your shirt," when they hand it to you, right? Meaning like,
Mhm.
this is what we had assigned to you.
Got it. Got it. And then what did I say in the end, Aubrey?
Yeah, and
What's the
then you
last one?
said, "It looks like they put us down for an 11 a.m. start." It means they have assigned us to that time slot.
Also very similar to the put me down for a medium. It's kind of assigning a size, assigning a time, and writing it
Exactly.
down or entering it into a website. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I
Love
think we
it.
have 2 takeaways here. First of all, don't put people down, right?
Definitely.
That's our first takeaway.
Please
Nobody
don't.
wants to be put down. It's
Please
not a good
don't. Be
feeling.
nice. Be nice to
Just be
people in the
nice. That's our
world.
first takeaway.
Yeah. Yep. 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 And what else? What's the second takeaway, Aubrey?
Yeah. And then also, right, phrasal verbs can be so confusing, especially these type of phrasal verbs where the same phrasal verb with the same preposition has so many different meanings. So today's tips can help you understand all of these and use them. And
Mhm.
as a final takeaway, whenever we talk about phrasal verbs, don't let them stress you out, right? It's
Yes,
okay if you make little
definitely.
mistakes. Connection, not perfection, always.
Yeah. Yeah. We know that as soon as we become stressed out, all those hormones flood our brain and we have that block, that barrier, that brick wall that comes up and we actually don't learn anything. We don't retain anything. So reduce the stress, breathe deeply, and again, focus on that human connection. Love it. Good stuff, Aubrey.
Absolutely. Thanks,
All
Lindsay.
right.
This was really fun. We should definitely play in a pickleball tournament sometime.
Oh, I bet
I
we'd
think
be
we would own.
good.
We would do
Yeah.
really well.
Sounds good. Hope we do that one day soon, Aubrey. Have a good
For
one.
sure. You
All right.
too. Bye.
Bye.